So I'll start off with the cooling system on the SLC. Please excuse the mess in my garage and the mess in the car. I've got like 14 different projects going on. So the cooling system is pretty straightforward on this, just like any other LS. You've got the outlet of the water pump, which of course you can't see, up there, out into stainless 1.5-inch cooling pipes that run down the side of the frame rails up to the pump. The pipes are all stainless, TIG welded, back purged, and then I pressure tested them with 60-pound water main from our house, so they can withstand that. Excuse me. So it goes up along the side of the frame rail, just like all the other SLCs, up into the radiator down low. Now, the way these radiators are made in the SLC, for some reason, they go in from the bottom and out from the top, which is backwards for most applications. But because the radiator is down so low, it really doesn't matter anyway. Excuse me. So you go into the left side of the radiator, then you've got a vent line up here that I then ran into a 1/4-inch stainless hard line, and then routed that back along the frame rail, up along the firewall, and then over to the header tank there. So we'll get back to that later. For the radiator, I just fabricated a shroud with eighth inch, I think it was 1/8 inch aluminum, and then the Maritime fans. Excuse me. Those are then wired into the Infinity Box controller. I'll do a separate video on that, but I just had Jay over at Infinity Box reprogrammed both the circuits to turn on both fans for both the AC and the engine computer controller. So whether the AC goes on or whether the engine commands it, both fans just turn on to keep it simple. So then you just come back out of the radiator over here, down along the passenger side frame rail, same deal. And I wrap these guys, it's the bottom one here, wrap those guys in just standard pipe insulation, nothing fancy there. Used these silicone P-clamps from McMaster to support the whole thing along the way, and then goes down there, of course you can't see that, into a silicone elbow into the inlet of the water pump. Excuse me. I'm running a 165 thermostat, and excuse me, back into the motor. And then we've got the heater pipes, which really hard to see. You can see the blue one over there, and a black one right below it. So those run out of the heater loop down alongside through the heater valve. That's the Chevys of the 40s, I think is the manufacturer of that valve, remote controlled from the dash. Up along the side, tucked under there, under the AC lines, into those fittings then, which go through the chassis up into the heater core there. Loops back around, back into the engine, and then I welded up just the header tank here. That's where it connects back up into the header tank, just for that one's a little bit less than a gallon of storage. Excuse me. It's pressure cap to the expansion tank down there. It's not full right now. I was doing some work on it, but so that's basically it. Oh yeah, and then you've got the vent lines out of the motor. I actually just drilled and tapped the heads to accept NPT fittings, and I just bent up some 1/4-inch stainless lines to all four vents, and made a there it is. Made a little block there to run the fittings all together into the one rubber hose, which then comes back up to the header tank there. So pretty straightforward, just a normal LS cooling setup.